Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Astrid Fitriana Rahmawati from Travel and Business Tourism in Gadjah Mada University. So, I will present my final project of English 3 about Australia travel requirement. The important travel documents that need to be brought when we are going to Australia are: first, passport. All passengers need a valid passport for international travel to any destination, but as some countries require passport to have at least 6 months of validity. You should check with the consulates of all countries you plan to visit before departure, as you may be refused entry if not complete. Okay, the important things to know before leaving for Australia are: point 1. Visit the IATA Travel Center to check the passport validity requirements at your destination. Point 2. When departing from Australia, you must present your completed passport, boarding pass, and passenger departure card to customs duty. Point 3. Upon arrival in Australia, you must present your passport and your completed passenger departure card to customs duty. Okay, the next travel documents are visitor visa, subclass number 600. Visitor visa subclass 600 is a visa that can be used for traveling to Australia. 600 visa will let you explore Australia for tourism purposes. Besides tourism purposes, you can use this visa to visit your partner, family, or relatives. If you have business matters, this visa suits you as well. 600 visa can generally be granted and allow you for a stay 3, 6, or 12 months, depending on your circumstance. When applying for a visitor visa 600, you would need to prove that you are a genuine visitor. This visa requirement for tourist streams are: point 1. You must have sufficient funds. Point 2. You would need to meet the health and character requirement. Point 3. You must be a genuine visitor. And the last point is it is recommended to have travel insurance. So, what you can do with this tourist stream visa? You can visit your partner, family, or friends, and you can be in Australia as a tourist. And the next travel documents are incoming passenger card or IPC. Passengers arriving in Australia are required under Australian law to identify themselves and provide certain information through the completion of a passenger card. So, what is a passenger card? A passenger card is a document providing passenger identification and an effective record of a person's entry to Australia. An IPC must be completed in English only. The next travel documents are vaccination certificate. From 6 July 2022, proof of vaccination is not required for entry into Australia. You may be required to provide proof of vaccination status for entry or transit through another country or for use in Australia. If you are vaccinated in Australia, you must use an international COVID-19 vaccine certificate or ICVC issued by Services Australia. Well, this information about travel documents to Australia. Okay, the next slide is immigration and customs in Australia. When the plane lands at Australian International Airport, you will go through checks at immigration as well as customs and quarantine, which are known to be very strict. The airport immigration department will check your passport and incoming passenger card, which you should fill in during the flight. Furthermore, customs and quarantine officers will check your luggage. Officers have the right to ask you to open your suitcase and show your luggage during inspection, as well as pick up items that are not allowed into Australia according to customs and quarantine regulation. So, what are the Australian immigration and customs regulations? Okay, the Australian immigration and customs regulations are: first, fill out the incoming passenger card carefully. So, incoming passenger card contains person data, flight attended, address, destination of arrival, as well as a statement of goods carried by each person who will enter Australia as a departure record document. The second, Australia has very strict biosecurity procedures at their international borders to prevent introduction of harmful pests and diseases. There are any categories of goods allowed or not allowed to be carried are: the first category is food and drinks. Types of food that are allowed are only for personal consumption, not for commercial, and they are fully cooked, shelf-stable, or do not require refrigeration and not containing meat. For example, first, dried herbs, including ginseng and saffron, and loose herbal. These are allowed into Australia if they only contain finely cooked ingredients of plant origin and weigh no more than 1 kilogram. The second, vegetable and seeds oil, includes peanuts, safflower, linseed, olive, and cottonseed oils. Are allowed into Australia. The goods must be clean and free of contaminant seed, soil, and animal or plant debris prior to arrival in Australian territory. The third is alcohol. If you are aged 18 or older, you can bring in up to 2.12 liters of alcoholic drinks duty-free. Then there are biscuits, chocolate or confectionery, then infant formula. Meanwhile, the food that should not be brought are: first, all pet food, treats, and juice made from animal or plant derived material require an import permit and or an official government veterinary certificate or manufacturer's declaration. There are no small quantity of personal pet exemptions. Second, eggs are not allowed into Australia unless accompanied by an import permit. Then the second category is animals. All live animals and reproductive materials are not permitted to be imported into Australia to avoid any risks of pests or disease from these animals. And last is weapons. As we know, it is forbidden to carry weapons including knives or firearms because they can endanger the safety of yourself and others. Okay, in this slide, I will tell you about cabin baggage allowance when we have go to Australia by Garuda Indonesia Airlines. Passenger may take special baggage as carry-on baggage into the passenger cabin, which may be carried in addition to free baggage allowance. The general conditions of special baggage in passenger cabin are as follows. First, passengers must book in advance one extra seat to carry their special baggage next to his or her seat under one PNR. Second, each baggage which may be carried into the passenger cabin must through the security check for safety reasons. And last is the goods that include in the category baggage in the passenger cabin, but not a carry-on baggage, such as the following in example, but not limited to music instruments, diplomatic bag, works of art, electronic equipment, and valuable baggage. Beside me is official poster from Garuda Indonesia Airlines. As we can see, the limitation requirement for baggage in passenger cabin are as follows. Passengers are only allowed to bring one cabin baggage and one carry-on item like laptop, camera, or carry-on baggage. Then, for safety procedures, ground staff will check cabin baggage at the boarding. And then, suitcase size provisions are 56 centimeters for length, 36 centimeters for width, 23 centimeters for depth, and a maximum weight of suitcase are 7 kilograms. While the provisions for travel bags are 34 centimeters for length, 15 centimeters for width, 34 centimeters for depth, and a maximum weight of 7 kilograms. Okay, that's all my presentation about Australia travel requirement. See you next time. Goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.